Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a modified Toyota 4Runner. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Toyota in Murray for giving me some time with the 4Runner. Check out the inventory and link below. Let's get into the video. So let's take a look at this modified Toyota 4Runner, and I'll be honest, I just want to show this to you guys. I didn't get any information on the specs or anything, but I figured you guys would want to look. So anyways, you can tell it definitely has aftermarket headlights, and it looks like it's got like LEDs on those lights as well for like accenting. I think that looks cool. And then you guys can see all of the fog lights down below. Pretty crazy. It looks cool in the bumper. And then you guys can see that aftermarket bumper with the bull bar, and then you can see the skid plate down below protecting everything. And then look at the shocks and all that. Look, pretty aggressive stuff if you ask me. And then also you guys can see obviously this thing was used quite a bit, which is good, because if you're going to build out something like this, you want to use it. And then look at that tire and wheel setup and just like how aggressive this looks overall. Now I will say I'm not a huge fan of this, because you guys can see pretty big wheels. It looks like they're like 20s roughly, and then I'm guessing those are like 35s wrapped around it. Yep, 35s on 20s. I'm pretty good at guessing, which you guys know I'm not a huge fan of that, because, you know, it looks cool, but it doesn't do as good off-road. You want a smaller wheel. You want to do something like a 17 or an 18 and then do 35s. And there's another look at the suspension. But cool enough, those tires look pretty much brand new, so I guess that's a huge plus. And then look at the side steps, which also double as rock rails, which obviously is another cool piece of off-road tech. And then you can see the rear setup is identical to what you have in the front. And I want you guys actually let me know in the comment section below what you think of those Moto Metal wheels. I think they look pretty good, but again, just I wish they were smaller. That's the only thing. I wish they were smaller. And then you guys can see it actually has some wheelhouse liner right there to kind of protect it. And then there's some vinyl here on the back. Obviously, we got our little tank here for extra fuel range. And then you've got the rack there at the very top, which I try to show you guys as best as I could manage. And then the taillights, those look pretty much like they're stock. They're darker, though. I wonder if those are tinted. And then you've got the spare tire, which matches all of the other ones. And you have a ladder to the top. Like, pretty crazy stuff when you've got a ladder on a vehicle. And then also look how they integrated the license plate. I think that's awesome. And then you can see the exhaust popping out right there. Everything's like bunched together. And then you've got the mud flaps as well. And yeah, overall it looks, like I said, looks pretty aggressive, looks pretty cool. Now, coming to the interior, it's like a base interior. So like you've got like the nice padding there with the stitching, but you've just got like these cloth seats right here in the back. So again, kind of more like baseline, basically. And then you got the venting back here as well. And then it looks like there's a little couple charging ports actually, rubber floor mats. And sorry about the lighting there. It's just kind of, it's under a little overhang, so it's kind of darker. And then popping over to the driver's side, again, nothing too crazy. They didn't do too much with the interior. So again, stock right there with the door panel, just, you know, soft touch materials, nothing too crazy happening there. And then you've got like the window controls there at the top. And then you guys can see the seats are power adjustable though. And then again, cloth seats here for the front, just like what you have in the back. So nothing's changed there. And then notice with the pedal layout, and then there is a rubber floor mat with it. Looks like it was a WeatherTech. I'm not sure what that switch is for. I'm guessing it's for the lights, because you got the two different switches, and then you've got a few more. So I'm guessing those switches are for the lights, and then maybe the fuel tank or something. Maybe it's like connected in. I don't know. Again, I just saw this vehicle, thought you guys wanted to see it, so yeah, it is what it is. Looks like it's got stock infotainment system, and then it's got a pedal commander, so obviously a little bit more oomph off the line, which is big for a 4Runner, because they're not exactly the fastest vehicles out there. And then you guys can see the center console action, pretty normal, nothing too crazy going on with that. And then popping over the glove box, I couldn't find anything in there. It looks like it was all like stock. They didn't put anything crazy in there or anything like that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like I said, the exterior, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but the interior, they really didn't do all that much. They kind of just left the customizations to the exterior, which is kind of how I prefer to do things. And also, I tried to open it up, couldn't figure it out. I tried. I just wanted to give you guys kind of one more walk around here so you can see the stance and all that kind of stuff, again, with this modified 4Runner. And yeah, like I said, overall, I like this build. I think it looks pretty good. The only things that I would change is, again, smaller wheels, and then the interior, I would maybe do like cat skins or something, because that would be a lot easier to clean when you take it off road versus the cloth. Cloth is just a nightmare because it absorbs everything. And so that's kind of something that I would change, is I would probably do leather interior, so it would be a little bit easier to clean. But overall, looks great. It's kind of like a Raptor 4Runner, basically, is what it looks like from an aesthetic perspective, which I like. Now, I just wanted to quickly say a couple things about that modified 4Runner. I did mention quite a bit in the video, but just kind of like my overall thoughts on that particular build. So obviously, you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of the gigantic wheels. Again, I prefer stuff like what my TRX has, 18-inch wheels or 17-inch wheels and a little bit more tire, because it just does a whole lot better off-road. And actually, well, the TRX is a great example because we've got 35s on this. Ooh. So you guys can see, obviously, having 35s with a smaller wheel, you just get so much more sidewall, so it's a lot better for off-road. And then also on top of that, it's going to ride a lot smoother on-road. And some of you might not think that looks as cool. I think it looks just as cool, if not cooler. And obviously, it's a lot more practical. So yeah, that is the route to go if you're asking me. Now, aside from that, I did mention with the interior, I probably would recommend doing something other than the cloth. Now, if you own a 4Runner, you can let me know if I'm wrong, but just cloth in general stains so easily. And if you're going to be getting in and out of it and you're, you know, climbing mountains, doing desert runs, whatever you're doing with that, right? Tons of off-roading, and that was kind of like an overland type build, at least what it looked like, then you're probably going to get quite a bit of mud and dirt and debris on the seats and just in the interior, and cleaning off that cloth is going to be so much more difficult in the leather. So I feel like a leather swap with that particular one would have been awesome as well. So yeah, that's kind of like just another thing that I would say is just my general opinion on it. But aside from that, I think it's a really cool looking build. Like, I thought it looked absolutely fantastic, and I can't remember how many miles that particular one had, but I feel like it had pretty high miles, and the fact that it's held up so well, I think is a testament to Toyota's reliability, and then also to the 4Runners as well, which is crazy. They're just, the reliability is insane. But then on top of that, obviously they're going to be redoing the 4Runner pretty soon, and so I guess that's like, it's pretty interesting to see like how well that's done, and we'll see how like well the new one does. I guess that's just like a quick little tidbit. But yeah, anyways, back to the topic of the video. I think the build looks absolutely fantastic from an exterior perspective. There's a couple things that I would change to the exterior and then to the interior. And I guess also, if you know how to open up the rear hatch with all that stuff on it, let me know in the comment section below, because that was something I couldn't figure out. Like, I looked so many places and I couldn't even find a latch to open it up. It's like they moved it or something. And so it'd be cool to figure out like how to actually open up the rear of that 4Runner as well. And so yeah, those are kind of my silly thoughts on that. Now, that's going to sum things up for the video on this modified Toyota 4Runner. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Toyota in Murray for giving me some time with the 4Runner. Check out their inventory in the link below. And then if you want me to do more like walkarounds on modified vehicles like this, let me know in the comment section below, and I can spend a little bit more time doing that, or I can also post them on the second channel. I've been considering that just slightly. You know, some of those vehicles that I don't get a ton of time with, but a little bit, I've been considering, again, posting those on the second channel. But yeah, anyways, if you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next video.